excited to be with you guys tonight and just super excited that you guys have decided to join us at 8 o'clock on a school night for all of you. Just kudos to you guys as teachers and educators. We really appreciate everything you do. And I know what you do because I'm also a classroom teacher at Blythewood High School. So I'm right in the thick of it with you and loving on the kids nonetheless. So it is my pleasure this evening to introduce to you guys Jess from EVERFI. And I've personally used EVERFI in my classroom for several years, and so I can attest to the quality of their product. And I'll go ahead and turn it over to Jess to talk to you guys about what they have new.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amanda. Hi, everyone. I don't know about you, but it's getting towards my bedtime. I know how sad that is, but it's the truth. So I appreciate you all sticking with me here 8 o'clock on a Tuesday. But like Amanda was saying, my name is Jess. I am the schools manager here in South Carolina. I support all of South Carolina as well as the Charlotte area and the western part of North Carolina. You might have either seen me or my colleague Peter Kelpin in your email inboxes or in one of these finance forums or possibly even at a PD before. But if you have never heard of EVERFI, I just kind of want to gauge and just see where everyone is, because I know we have a lot of people on here. Some people might have used EVERFI before, some people might not have. So if you could just do a 0 to 5 in the chat box. 0, give me a 0 if you have never heard of EVERFI, you have no idea what we or who we are, and then a 5 being Jess, I can do this training, step aside. All right, zeros, ones, and thank you. Oh, Philip, I might have to have Philip step in here and run some of this training. Awesome. Ones and twos. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, hi, David. Good to see you. Awesome. Okay, well, thanks y'all for sharing that with me and for being honest. Good news for my 4s and 5s, and even if you're at a 3, we have some new financial literacy courses that we have rolled out this school year. So there will be a little bit of new material for you. And for everybody else, I'm going to give you all a broad overview. My goal is for you to jump in and create an account this tonight if you have not done so already, and give you a chance to explore at the end, and then hopefully walk away from this session with an idea of how you can use EVERFI in your instruction, whether you're virtual, whether you're hybrid, whether you're all in person right now, whatever that might look like. So I will go ahead and put up my email at the very end as well, but just wanted to make sure that you all had this information. I'm a former educator, was an elementary school teacher, an MTSS coach, instructional coach, moved into the educational technology world a couple years ago, and just really excited to be here to represent EVERFI and to share out our resources with you all. My agenda today, want to provide you all with an overview of who we are at EVERFI, give you all an inside look into our instructional resources that we have available, provide you all with some ideas of implementation, no matter what instruction might look like. And then last but not least, make sure that you all are able to jump in and register for an account and be able to feel a little bit comfortable with just navigating the platform. So a little about who we are. We are an educational technology company that's a little different than most out there. We have always been free, we are free, and we always will be free. So I like to start out by sharing that with educators. We have a funding model that's a little different than most. We actually have private and public organizations and sponsors that will underwrite the cost of these real world critical life skill resources so that educators can use them at absolutely no cost. So you will see that our resources span everywhere from financial literacy, career exploration, all the way down to health and wellness, social emotional learning. And we are also starting to scratch the surface into early academic readiness at the elementary level, and then also getting into some diversity, equity, and inclusion courses. So really excited to be able to expand and grow our courses. So you all will have access to our entire library as an EVERFI user. But obviously for tonight's purposes, I'm only going to be diving into the financial literacy courses, but please feel free to dive in and explore some of those other courses. Awesome, Tamika. So great to see you. So okay, shared a little bit about the funding model. We have always been free. We always will be free. But what else comes with the EVERFI program? So you will have access to digital lessons for your students to do on their own devices. You will have access to also offline lessons that you can use to extend and expand the learning that the students are getting from the modules. You will also have access to go in and see your students' reports. You can see their pre and post assessment data, what they learned coming out of a module, and be able to use that for grading purposes, conference purposes, data purposes, whatever the case may be. And then last but not least, you get me, who is your local support person here in the Carolinas. And so anytime you need something in terms of technology questions, just an overall general EVERFI question, I'm available to help you all out any way that I can. All right, so you will probably hear me say this a couple times throughout the night, but this whole idea of wellness, student wellness, right? So in this digital world, we're learning a lot about, how students' social emotional learning wellness is taking a toll. But you'll see here on the screen the eight different dimensions of wellness that EVERFI has been building their resources off of. So, in this COVID-19 world where students, really need as much of these different branches of wellness as they can, we are happy to be able to cover almost every single one of these dimensions with our courses. So for tonight's purposes, you'll see the financial and the occupational side of the wellness resources. But like I said, we do have multiple different bucket areas as well. This just gives a quick snapshot of EVERFI's impact over the years. So we hit our over 3 million student mark last year for K-12 learners, which is really exciting. And then we just continue to grow ever since. So throughout the platform, as you get in and explore, you'll see some of our financial institution partners logos within there, as well as some of our other sports and entertainment logos like Carolina Panthers, NHL Carolina Hurricanes. Again, you'll be able to see some of those sponsors and partners that will underwrite the cost of our resources. And then just a little bit more background with our expertise here at EVERFI. So pretty much all of us school managers, who is what my role is, we come from some type of educational background with some type of expertise. We develop all of these resources with content and subject matter experts. So, we like to say that we build these courses in-house here at EVERFI with the help of our content specialists that we partner with, and then of course with the impact and input from our sponsors who fund the courses as well for us. You'll also see that there's standard and state alignment. So if you are ever wondering what South Carolina standards or national standards are being hit by these courses, you will have access to that. And then obviously anything that you need from me with implementation wise. Quick snapshot here of EVERFI last year in South Carolina. For those of you who have never used an EVERFI resource, really excited to see that over 70,000 students last year used a resource, EVERFI resource. And then you can see there that South Carolina specifically, our EVERFI financial literacy course is considered a stackable credential, which is a part of the supplemental credentials that students are able to learn to indicate mastery of career ready skills. So pretty exciting to be able to bring that to teachers and students. And then, like I said, the different standards alignments there throughout the different courses. In addition to the resources and in addition to implementation support that you get, sometimes throughout the school year, there will be different opportunities based off of which sponsors sponsor the resources. For example, Truist, BB&T, now Truist, they are big sponsors here in the Carolina areas. They love to offer virtual events, used to be in-person events, but this year they're pivoting to virtual events to just, have that communication interaction with the teachers and students who are using an EVERFI resource, and be able to provide events for teachers to have their students jump on and learn more about career and financial skills. And then also there's student scholarship contest held throughout the year as well. So you'll receive emails and notifications and things like that. So just be on the lookout for that. If you have never used an EVERFI resource before with students, you'll have access to those different scholarship opportunities as well. And then last but not least, this is more as of like a district level, but we do send district annual reports to administrators every year. We have what we call a halftime report, which we are able to provide halftime data from half of the school year to show the data and the knowledge gains throughout the first half. And then we also do submit a impact report at the very end of the school year to show how many teachers, how many schools, how many students, as well as the pre and post assessment data. So I think that would pretty much covers just about every large detail in terms of who we are at EVERFI. Please feel free, as I'm going through, chat in any questions that you have into that chat box. I have that pulled up, so I definitely do not mind stopping and answering those. But I'm going to go ahead and show you all our instructional resources that we have available. Now, are there any elementary educators on this session? Because we do have an elementary financial literacy course, but I don't know how much to go. Okay, Donna. Okay, great. Didn't know how much to cover, so I just want to make sure I hit all my peeps. So I've got elementary, perfect. What about my middle school folks? Do I have any middle school folks in the house?
Yes, Butler, Holly here, Roberts Miller. How you doing? Good to see you again.
Good. How are you?
All right.
Good. And then my high school folks, awesome. Okay, perfect. So we've got a little bit of everyone. Perfect. Thanks, y'all. That's great. So I'm just going to take you through, give you some high level information, bits and pieces of the topic and lessons that are found within the courses. But really what I want to make sure is at the very end of this session that you all have access to go in and add these courses to your EVERFI dashboard, because really the only way that you're going to really get comfortable with them is by you pulling them up on your screen and going through those courses to see it yourself. So perfect. So this is our high level overview. You can see our courses, again, like I've talked about, expand everywhere from the financial education side all the way over to our academic readiness. We do have 2 new financial literacy courses for the high school level that are being rolled out this year. So we are really excited about that. I will dive into that here shortly. But this just kind of gives you an overall view of our course catalog. And we do have everything from kindergarten all the way up through 12th grade. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at our financial wellness suites. Here you'll see, starting with our elementary level, we have our Vault Understanding Money resource. Our Vault course got a facelift over the summer. It is it's really a really good facelift, especially coming from a former elementary school teacher. But what that course has is a lot of SEL resources, or I should say SEL background into the responsible financial decision making behind money, that students can start learning there at an early age, starting with fourth grade. We do see some teachers use this in third grade as well. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. And then Future Smart is our middle school course. That course is sponsored by our Mass Mutual Foundation. One of our longest running partnerships is with Mass Mutual. So really excited to be able to share out that course. I'll dive into those topic areas in a moment. Our middle school / high school venture entrepreneurship course is slowly becoming more and more popular throughout the years, not just necessarily with CTE or personal finance teachers, but also with counselors and career specialists as well. So in that particular course, students will be able to design their own business plan and learn more about the startup capital and what that looks like. And then at the high school level, our longest running course, oldest running course that did get a facelift as well at the beginning of last year is our EVERFI High School Financial course, which really excited to just continue to bring that course to high schools around the Carolinas. BB&T now Truist sponsors that. They're really excited and passionate about that course. It has everything from how to fill out a FAFSA, all the way into going into how income works, pay stubs, and setting up a bank account. What I do want to show on this slide here is our addition to our high school financial wellness suite of courses. So here on the left-hand side, again, you'll see that high school financial literacy course. Up above here, our venture course, like I just shared, is slowly becoming a popular financial wellness course that is being implemented into middle and high school classes. And then we also have an investing course called Marketplaces. If you had not had a chance to check this out, this could be something that that you can use, economic teachers use, as well as even in entrepreneurship classes, because it talks a little bit more about the startup and what that looks like with startup capital. So it does go into that in Marketplaces. But then also you'll see these two courses down below, the Money Moves, which is our partnership with Zelle, and that is all about modern banking and identity protection. So you'll see things like peer-to-peer transaction, identity theft and fraud, what to look out for in terms of online banking. And then down at the bottom there, you will see our Pathways course, which is strictly all about rate of investment, as well as financing higher education and how student loans work, and all that good stuff. And that is our Citizens Bank sponsorship course. So two new ones, really excited to be able to share those out. Pathways is currently available in our course catalog, and Money Moves should be available by the end of November. So just FYI on that. All right, so these next few slides, I just want to make sure that I show this to you all so you can see some of those course topics that are outlined. They're bullet pointed down below underneath course topics. Here's our EVERFI Financial Literacy course. A lot of these courses are very similarly structured in terms of how many lessons and how long it takes, as well as the structure of pre-assessment, new learning, an activity or a real world based scenario to practice that learning, and then a post assessment. So you'll see a lot of these courses will look similar in terms of the structure, just different content, obviously. So EVERFI Financial Literacy High School digital course has 7 online modules, about 20 to 30 minutes at most. Students can go back and retake retake assessments or retake a lesson from the start if need be. So they have the capability of going back and retaking that as many times as they can, or as many times as they want. But again, you'll see the course topics down below. And then this course is also available in Spanish as well. Students will have the capability to go in once they jump into this course on their device, and they can change their language settings. So you don't have, the teacher doesn't have to worry about putting certain language settings on these courses that are available in different languages. So the students can control that from their dashboard. Our venture course, 4 lessons long for our entrepreneurial expedition resource, 20 to 25 minutes each. In what I like about this course is that students will be creating an e-portfolio throughout each of these modules. Well, they'll be adding a little bit more as they go and as they learn more about what it takes to be an entrepreneur. So they will be able to set up their own business via a food truck. They'll be able to put together a business pitch, put together what their career goals are, and then they'll be able to house all of that information in their e-portfolio. And then teachers will have access to that on the back end as well. So I wish I had this. I wish I had this course when I was going through middle and high school. I always tell people that. Marketplaces, again, this is our investing basics course. This is generated more towards high school, 5 modules. It does take about, the whole entire course takes about an hour, but again, it will save student progress. The same with these other courses. Students can start and stop at any point, and it will save from their last activity so they can jump right back on into where they left off. But again, you'll see the course topics there for marketplaces, the financial markets and exchanges it goes into, government's role in economy, growing a company through financing, what that looks like with the startup, and then building an investment portfolio. So definitely one to check out. And then for my middle school folks, this is our Future Smart course. So want to make sure that you all can see these course topics that are outlined here below. This course is also available in Spanish. This course is 7 lessons long, 20 to 25 minutes each. In this particular course, students are taking on the role of being a mayor of a made-up town. And in each one of those different 7 modules, they have a citizen that comes to them with a particular financial problem. And then it's up to them to help problem solve, and help that citizen out to make smart financial decisions. So great resource to incorporate at the middle school level. And then here is our Vault relaunch, which was enhanced from our older version of Vault. Even just from this visual picture, you can see if you have been an older Vault user that it's definitely more engaging, it's more eye-catching. The students are immersed into this made-up world where these made-up characters are learning different responsible financial decision-making skills, and it will give students a chance to practice those skills that they're learning through the characters in an activity or a game-based. So very interactive and engaging, especially for that upper elementary to early middle school as well. Any questions so far? I'm just going to stop for a moment. I feel like I've been word vomiting, so I just want to make sure I want to open up some time for questions if there's anything in particular that I can help answer. And thanks, David, for that about requiring your economic students to enroll in past financial literacy. Yeah, that's awesome. So you will have a chance to go in as a teacher, and when students complete these financial literacy courses, you can print out a certificate, or even in this world of virtual, you can even download a PDF file and send it to them to show that they finished. And that they are certified in financial literacy. So, which is also just a great incentive for kids to have that. And also it's really good for them to talk about too, especially as they are, learning more about the importance of networking and the importance of, building their resumes, especially high school level, especially when they're thinking about college and all that good stuff. So it's just a great way to really have those conversations with students, about why something like this is so important to be certified in something, in a skill. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into those two new courses really quickly. Just want to make sure that I scratch the surface on what topic areas will be included in these modules. And then, like I said, pathways, you will have access to that in the course catalog, so you can jump in and explore that now. And then money moves will be available here in the next couple weeks. But here's our Pathways course. This one is a little bit shorter than the high school financial literacy course. It's 5 lessons. This one takes about 15-20 minutes per module. As you can see, these courses are supposed to be supplemental. They're not going to be the end all be all. They're not going to be, your main curriculum. They are strictly made to be supplemental. And then we do have those offline lesson resources that you can use as well to extend that learning. So our Pathways course, you can see the course topics that are outlined there below. And I just took this course the other day, actually, and just a great way to really introduce students to what are my different financial options out there, not necessarily with a four-year college, maybe if you're going into the trade route, if you're going to a community college, whatever that might look like, definitely something that is relevant to our students today. I wish I had a little bit more background into understanding my financial aid options. And then our Money Moves course, excited to see this course roll out here. This one is made by Zell. They were really passionate in developing this course to make sure that students really understand what are some of the risks that you take with online banking, such as your peer-to-peer transactions. What does identity theft and fraud protection, what does that look like? What are ways that you can stay safe, keeping your identity safe? How are banks and financial institutions, how are they helping and making sure that they are supporting the consumers with fraud protection? So again, scenario based, students will be able to jump in, go through different activities. You can see here on the screen that in that particular module there, students are practicing taking a picture of a check, the front and back. So they'll go through and they'll do that, obviously not really with a smartphone, but it will be a simulation, which is really cool. They'll get to really experience, and see what it looks like to deposit a check, and why more and more people are starting to do their banking online like that. Any questions with the Pathways or the Money Moves? Again, for my folks who have used EVERFI before, these are 2 brand new courses. And feel free to jump in and jot down any questions there in the chat box as well. But I wanted to make sure I provided you all with some really just ideas of how EVERFI courses are being used. So obviously, this semester, a lot of teachers are using this in their flipped classroom models, because a lot of teachers are teaching hybrid, or maybe they are strictly teaching virtual, but they are also having that time where the whole group or small groups are coming together to do some daily check-ins. So just a great way for students to go through these courses on their own device. And then, like I said, you'll have access to those offline extension activities to do more either small group, whole group, whatever that might look like. At the younger level, EVERFI is being used for centers during independent time working or independent time in the classroom when teachers are working with other students. So again, just some ideas to kind of keep those wheels turning with how EVERFI is being used. And then This can really be these implementation ideas. I know this says in the middle, you'll see that this was set up for EVERFI financial literacy for high school. Honestly, you can really take this for any one of those EVERFI courses. But you'll see one of my favorites that I hear some teachers doing is they're doing something called Ever Fridays, where they're having students on Fridays complete an EVERFI module or activity. So that's kind of cool how they embedded that into their lessons. But you could just see, again, I won't read all of this on the screen, but you can see some of those activities and some of the ways that teachers are structuring writing in EVERFI into their lesson plans, whether it be for, homework, independent time, using it for choosing your own adventure, where they can complete different EVERFI lessons throughout the semester on their own time. Again, very flexible in how it's used. Okay, so in addition to those resources, you've heard me talk about some of this already, but you will get all of your student reports. You'll be able to have access to the data. Again, you'll have access to those offline lessons. You'll also have access to any curriculum guides, standards documents, discussion questions, things like that. You will also have access to the entire course catalog. So next year, if there are any, or I should say if and when, because I know there probably will be some type of new course being rolled out next school year. We just don't know what that might look like, but you'll have access to all those new resources that get rolled out. And then obviously the scholarship opportunities and the different virtual events that those sponsors are hosting. So I did put this in here, didn't know if there were any administrators, district admin, or any principals in the training session. If you are in here, just please feel free to just chat in and say, hey. But this just kind of gives you a snapshot of, at a district level, how EVERFI has been working with school districts here in South Carolina in terms of helping teachers decide where certain courses may be placed, so that there's no overlap and that teachers at the middle school level don't use the same courses at the high school level. So we are constantly working with district admin and instructional coaches just to make sure that there's a plan put in place with EVERFI. So if this is something, if you're a district admin, and you're currently on this session and you would love to chat about different ways that we can implement these courses into your different curriculum maps to make sure that there's no overlap, more than happy to connect with you. But I do just like putting this slide in there just in case there are any admin on the call that are just interested in kind of seeing what next steps might look like. We did roll out this school year our EVERFI Champion seal, which we're really excited about. Basically, we wanted to give back to the school districts that were using EVERFI resources, have used them continuously and with fidelity over and over again. So we did roll out this Champion District seal, something to just think about in the back of your mind. Excited to be able to present these to this is currently North and South Carolina school districts put together. So if you are in one of these school districts and you didn't know, your district has been awarded the official district seal for 2020 for EVERFI. So again, we appreciate our schools, we appreciate our educators, and everybody that we work with that continues to use these resources year after year. All right, getting started. So I know it's 8:32. I have a little less than 15 minutes left. So these next few slides, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all, if you have not done so already, how to log in and register for an educator account. And then you can feel free to tone me out. You can just go off and start exploring on your own. But I'm just going to walk through some of the different tabs and the different areas within the platform. And then I'll open it up to any questions at the end to get you all out of here. All right, so 2 ways to register for educators. Number 1 is through Clever. If you are a Clever integrated district, just because you have Clever doesn't necessarily mean that EVERFI is on there. I will show you a list in just a moment of the South Carolina schools that we have Clever integration with. But if your district has EVERFI inside your Clever portal, you will have access to it that way. And then on the right side of the screen, you will see there is a way for you to simply register using our EVERFI platform. So I'm going to go ahead and just type into the chat box here. If you want to click on this, let me make sure I spelled that correctly. If you are a new teacher and you need to set up an account and you do not have Clever access in your district, you already know, nope, Jess, we don't have Clever, so I'm going to need to go in and set this up through the website. Perfect. I just put in there the EVERFI /new teacher. You can go ahead, log on to that and start registering for your educator account. For my folks who might not be sure, here are the districts currently in 2020 that we have Clever Access integration with. So if you are in any one of these districts, you can go ahead, sign into your Clever portal. If you don't know what Clever is, or if you don't know where your Clever portal is, usually it is somewhere in like your employee portal when you sign on, where you go to other educational technology apps, or there is also on that EVERFI /new teacher, there is a spot for you to register via Clever. There's a button on there. So any questions on that in terms of, I don't know if I have Clever access, I'm not finding Clever. Keep me posted if there's anything funky, because I do want to make sure that you all are able to successfully get in, because that's definitely important. All right, so Clever, again, you'll go to your Clever portal, you'll click on the Clever app, you'll click on EVERFI app. Your students, for all my Clever integration folks, your students will do the exact same thing as this. They will go to your Clever portal, wherever they're used to going to sign into their educational apps. They'll click on Clever and they'll click on that EVERFI app. So for my folks that had to register via the EVERFI new teacher website, go ahead and follow those prompts. Very self-explanatory. Go ahead and put in your school email address and create your password. It will ask you to select an EVERFI course to put on your dashboard automatically. Doesn't matter, just choose whichever one, because I'm going to show you here in a moment how to access the catalog. All right. You should hopefully, if you're following along with me, if you're just listening, that's perfectly fine. If you are following along on your own device right now, you should see something that looks like this for your EVERFI dashboard. I am going to exit out of my PowerPoint and jump into my demo version here so that I can kind of click into different tabs in real time. But I currently have all of the EVERFI courses on my demo account. What you will want to do is you will first things first, you'll want to go to catalog or add course. Either one will get you to our course catalog. And give it a second for it to load. And then once you're in the catalog tab, you will see how everything is broken down by topic area. So if you scroll down, there is a featured section, but I just recommend just go ahead and scroll on down. You'll see that first topic there is our financial education bracket. So you'll be able to go in, click on those courses that you want added to your dashboard. There is also a spot for you to view the course. Now you can also view this course and see what it looks like after the fact that you add it to your dashboard. So don't feel like you have to view this course right now to see what it looks like. You can always go back and view that once you add it. So you'll see, use those left and right arrows. Again, it'll just continue to repeat. If you continue to scroll down, you'll see our entire course catalog, our SEL courses, health and wellness, college and career, early learning, our diversity, STEM, and then it will have all of our courses down at the bottom. So very self-explanatory. Go ahead and add a couple of those courses that might have stood out to you as I was going through and sharing about those overviews. What I'm going to do is actually go back to my home tab, and I'm going to show you some of the ways that you can interact with this course, or these courses, I should say. So I'm on my teacher dashboard, and first thing I want to do is I just want to see what these courses look like, and maybe some curriculum outline guides. So what you'll want to do, and I'll just go here to the Vault course since it's right here, is I can go here and view the course. What that will do is it will pop open a separate tab, and then it will show me exactly what the students will see on their end of things. And I'm muting this right now so that I don't have the audio in my background. But view course tab will get you right into the course so you can demo it and take it as if you were a student. This is exactly what students will see. I'm going to go back here to my teacher dashboard. The next tab that I recommend teachers jumping into is our resources tab. So again, you'll see the same 3 tabs are going to be located on every single one of those EVERFI courses. So the resources tab will get you those additional information and additional resources to help you implement this course. So you'll see things like course outline and curriculum guide. You'll see lesson plans, which will provide you with additional PDFs or Word documents. This particular one that I just clicked on for lesson plans is a zip file, and that will open up somewhere on one of my devices here. But I can go in and I can pull up one of these courses, one of these offline lessons. And since I'm sharing my screen, it's not going to let me. So but that's where you'll want to go to get those extension courses there. Well, maybe not. There we go. You'll also have assessment answer keys as well as standards alignment. If you are looking for specific South Carolina standards, you can either search the EVERFI website, or you can just email me, and I have all of them on my computer and I can send them your way as well. So if you are looking for specific standards correlations, just shoot me an email, let me know, and I'm more than happy to send those standards alignments over. Okay, so view course resources, we know to jump in those first. When you are then ready, and I just realized that it's 8:41, so I am going to, so I am going to, I'm going to show you this last and final step, and then I'm going to shut my mouth so that you all can ask any questions as you're exploring. But the last and final thing that you will want to do is you will want to create your class, which that just means that you want students to get started using that course from their device. So what you'll do, hit that create class tab. If I am a Clever user, if I am a Clever teacher, I have integration with Clever and EVERFI, you're going to see your class rosters pop up, which makes your life so much easier. Okay, you can click on those rosters, set up your classes, follow the prompts, make sure any courses, you can add more than one course, make sure that those are all there for you, and you can create that class. Now, obviously I didn't type in anything, so it's not going to let me create that. But when I go up here, you'll see my classes tabs, which has all of my classes that I have created. Again, demo version. So you're going to see a lot of random classes in there. Students tab, that's exactly what that is. Who are my students? You can see those there in the students tab. And then last but not least, you want to check in on your student reports and how they're progressing throughout the modules. You can go to reports, click on that drop-down menu, select which course you want to check in on, and there you go. You now have access to what your students are getting on those assessments. So I will stop here. It's 8:43. I know I threw a lot of information at you. I know that they'll be sending follow-ups with information. I am going to put in the chat box a link to this presentation slideshow as well, so you can have that handy on your computer and look back at that. But I am going to be quiet now and see if there are any questions that I can help answer.
Jess, thank you so much. This was such a wonderful presentation.
You're
and
welcome.
overview of all that you guys offer with EVERFI.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited that EVERFI is able to connect with you all here tonight and be able to be a part of the finance forum. We look forward to it every year. I know that. But like I said, I am here as your implementation support person. There's a couple slides at the very end that you can look through, but really everything that I talked about tonight is in that slideshow. If you need to go back, if there's anything in particular that I can help answer, you have my email address right there. So please do not hesitate to reach out with any questions that you all have. And I appreciate you spending your Tuesday night with me.
Thank you again so much. And for all of you educators, we really appreciate the fact that you guys joined us until like way after some of our bedtimes tonight.
Yes.
I know that the sessions were certainly very valuable, and we really hope that you guys will join us tomorrow for rounds, I guess, 3 and 4 of the Finance Forum. If you haven't registered yet for those, it's not too late. Just simply go to www.sdfinanceforum.org and sign up for the sessions that you desire to attend tomorrow. And we will send out the follow-up information after our sessions have concluded on Wednesday. Thank you guys so much. And we're going to go ahead and shut it down if there are no more questions. Lots of thank yous.
I know. Thanks, y'all. You're so sweet.
Y'all have a wonderful evening. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Amanda, for your help. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jess. It was wonderful.